We're live.
Live.
Happy Friday, everyone. I hope y'all are having a great day. Hope you've had a great week. It's been a while. Just been busy. Tying up all kinds of loose ends, putting together some YouTube videos that have been long overdue. And I apologize for not being live here the past few days. But we are back. And we're trying to get back on track with going live every day. We're also doing some scheduling and do some highlighted themes and some techniques and products. It may sound hollow in this room right now. It's because it's almost empty because we moved the rod wrapper over. We're painting some things and we're going to bring you some live sessions from the wrapper here next week and then ongoing to help bring you some live techniques and show you some stuff as well. I want to point out some awesome summer products that may help you out, whether you're a rod builder personally or you're a wholesale guy building for customers. Some things you can kind of point out and hopefully make some sales for yourself, or otherwise make some sweet rods for yourself. Depending on where you're at in the country, I know right here in Florida it's hot, and up north you've still got some cooler weather, 60s, 70s, which is awesome. I'm jealous. But either way, no matter where you are, a couple rods I really want to point out that have been very popular all year long, but especially in the summer. One is our Liberty DS 700. It seems like every time I turn around, someone's asking about it, and I love that because it's a very, very unique blank, but it covers a lot of spectrum, right? You can do a lot with it. So this is it right here in my hand. It's got a very soft tip, a moderate fast to fast action. It's kind of cool. It's a little bit different. It's right between those two. And the reason I point that action out is you can load this thing with a 16th ounce bait or 1/8 ounce bait. I've also thrown 132nd or 132nd, sorry, ounce. Sometimes they double up on 1/16. Guys, this thing has a wide range on that low end for throwing small baits. But then we also have a lot of clients, and the reason we originally designed this blank was for drop shotting. Guys, drop shotting for bass using soft plastic, so you can go above that range as well. So if you're a pan fisherman right now, chances are you're excited because brimmer on the beds or bluegills or whatever you have near you, summertime is an awesome time for catching panfish. It's also a great time for drop shotting bass. Maybe they're locked up on structure, maybe they're suspended over some kind of contours, and drop shotting can be a great way to target those fish. As for both those applications, this DS 700 is just an awesome blank. You can get the 700, you can get the 760, which is 7'6". You can go up to the new 8-footer, or step it down all the way down to I think 5'6" is our shortest model. You can really dial in the length that you want, and there's ultralight action or drop shotting for bass. It's got a mag taper butt section, which is what makes this blank so unique. You have that really soft tip and a mag taper butt. I don't think there's. You want to close it up there? I'm gonna keep running. Sorry guys, forgot to turn off the notifications. But you got a really soft tip and then a mag taper butt, so you got the best of both worlds. You got a big fish, you can turn them. A fish in your structure, you can turn them. A lot of things you can do with that blank. Another blank I want to point out to you is our Liberty flipping stick. There's a 6 power and a 4 power. What I have in my hand right here is a 7.9 4 power. Probably one of the most popular flipping sticks there are, both for the custom builder and for the production guy. I can't tell you who he is. Actually 2 of them, but there's 2 really high-end elite anglers who build on these rods. They have their builders buy them from us and they build them for them. They're sponsored by big name companies, but they can't tell you whose rod they actually use because it's ours. And we can't tell you who they are because they're sponsored by somebody else. But it's super cool that they use these blanks. It's got a soft, moderate to moderate fast action, definitely not a fast action. I caution you if you're flipping. I know fast action may sound like the way to go because you want to feel that quick little bite and get them out. I get it. But if you're missing fish and you're losing fish, I promise you, if you go to a slower action blank, a more moderate action, your hook sets are going to increase. The fish that you land are going to increase. Because when you're putting that much pressure on the fish with that little line out, flipping or pitching, it's more often than not you're going to pull that lure out of the fish's mouth, pull that hook out of the fish's mouth. So a more moderate action loads up properly. It's still super responsive. Just a nice responsive tip. Tons of backbone. You can flip up to probably 1.5 ounces with this. It's rated for, a quarter of 1.5 ounce. 12 to 20 pound line. Obviously with braid, you can go well above that. And that moderate action is more forgiving, so you can actually load further into a fish without worrying about breaking your rod, which I know happens a lot when you guys are flipping, especially big mats, big baits, punching stuff. There's a lot of pressure on a little bit of line and then a little bit of graphite, right, when it comes to a blank. So it makes sense, go to a more moderate action flipping stick, and I promise you, you will get more efficient boat.
Chris asks, what do you think of that blank for paddle tail swim bait over grass? Or do you recommend the 733.75?
It depends on the size of your paddle tail. If you're throwing like a 6-inch paddle tail, then I'd probably go with MB733. If you're throwing bigger baits like 8 inches or 10-inch paddle tails for bigger fish over thicker cover, then I'd go with the 794. Or maybe looking at the MB764 or the MB794. The flipping stick is going to have, a lot more power to it. Just depends on what size bait you're throwing. You don't want to have a blank that has too much power to where it won't load properly. But you can see the tip on this, the 794. It's pretty soft. You can get into the power back in here for sure when you actually make that big flip and swing that big bait. But you could definitely load, it's why it's rated for a ½ ounce. Most good size soft plastics, by the time you add a hook, you're over a ½ ounce. So you could go either way.
You said 4 to 5 inches with a 1/4 ounce.
4 to 5 inches with a 1/4 ounce. That's a relatively, smaller bait. So I would throw that MB704 or MB733.75. Yeah. Also depends too on what size line you're fishing and what size cover. Because you got to figure out the perfect match, right? Getting the bait out there, working the bait, and then when that hog eats it, you got to get them back to you. So if you're in super thick, nasty dollar weed or matted out vegetation of some kind, and it's really nasty, you're obviously going to have to go up in line class, and you're going to have to go up in blank as well. But if you're fishing sporadic vegetation, or just light vegetation, then any of the Mag Bass series will hang on just fine. So with that being said, another great combo, or another addition to those blanks there would be Forecast carbon fiber. We're getting more and more questions about them. I know it's not 4th of July anymore, but it's still July. So I want to point out all these colors: red, white, and blue. Okay? You want to build out a super sweet patriotic build, go with a Liberty blank made here in the USA, not made in Mexico, not made anywhere else, but here in the USA. All Liberty blanks made right here in the USA. Forecast carbon fiber, not made in the USA, but owned by Baxton Forecast. Great company, great people. Red, white, and blue goes with the theme, right? You can get all these different sizes, different colors, mix and match them however you want. Or you can obviously go all black for a super sweet look. You can add a colored butt cap here. You could go with all black and just stealth it out. There's a lot you can do with carbon fiber. Guys, I know a lot of guys trick out their builds with a lot of bling and whatnot, and a lot of guys don't. When I think carbon fiber, I think super sleek, minimalistic, performance-driven rod, right? I mean, get out there, get it done. You mount that with some real teeny black wraps, keep your epoxy real minimal. If you can swing it, go with Fuji Torzite guides. I'm telling you, they are the best on the market. I don't say that to upsell anything, I just say that to tell you the truth. I was reluctant until I finally built on a rod with Torzites, and I'm telling you, it's night and day. That little guy right there is a size 5, okay? So it's not just the extra lightweight from titanium, it's not just the extra thin ring that you get with Torzite, but it's the smoothness of that ring. It is amazing. I've done the test over and over and over again at ICAST. No, we can get to do it this year because everything is virtual. But I promise you, when I go through the Fuji booth, even though I've done it probably 4 or 5 times now, year after year, I go do it again just to get it through my mind how this works. But there's so many tests. Like there's one test where you take your guides, and there's a set of guides on 2 sets of strings, right? 2 sets of mono, and you pull up a block, and evenly pulls up both sets of guides. They're elevated. Now the line's at an angle, shooting back down, and you watch the guides race each other down to the end of the ramp. And which guides, get there the fastest. It's a Torzites every time. I'll take the line off their demo, get a spool, that they have sitting there and cut and redo both ramps myself with the same line, just to prove to myself there's no variables here, and the Torzites win, bar none, every time. They're that much smoother, they're that much lighter. They take a full set of Torzites and compare it to one regular stainless steel SIC, their own brand, and the full set of Torzites weighs less than one of their SICs. It's just amazing, you know. Yes, they are a little bit pricey, but if you are building a performance-driven rod, or if you have an angle, let's say you're a wholesale builder and you want to build the best of the best for your pro staff guy, or whatever, build it on Torzites. I promise you, you will be amazed. And yes, it translates to distance in the water, sensitivity. You can also build a lighter rod, not only because they're lighter in general, but a size 5 Torzite equates to a size 6 non-Torzite guide, because the ring is so much thinner, right? And when you think about a diameter in a guide, it's not the outside diameter that's measured of the actual, I'm sorry, take this back. It's not the inside diameter of a ring that's measured. It's the outside. So when the outside stays the same, you're going to have a size 5 Torzite and a size 5, say, regular guide. The outside diameter is going to stay the same. Well, what's the clearance on the inside? That's what really makes a difference. Well, when you go Torzite, the clearance goes up almost a full size because the ring is that much smaller. So you can go down a size, have the same clearance, and now you save even more weight. If that makes sense. I know it's kind of confusing. What I'm saying is if you're used to running size 6 runners, you can run size 5 runners and you have the same clearance. So you're getting less frame, it's titanium, and you have a smaller ring that's smoother, harder, just the best of both worlds. You know, all worlds. Torzite is the best of the best. It really is. Questions, comments, concerns?
Sean Gill said, great show the other night.
No, Sean, thank you, buddy. Yeah, we had a good time. I know some of you got to catch it. We went live with Sam Robles of Palo Fishing and Adrian, one of his business buddies there. Had a great time the other night. We were live for quite a while. It was a good time for sure. Thanks for joining, Sean. Questions, comments? All right, guys, I'm not going to ramble on. We'll go live again Monday. We'll probably go live midday. We got a bunch more freebies. We're going to be putting in some packages. All kinds of good stuff. We'll have another raffle coming soon, and bring us more goodies. I'm super excited to have this studio built out. Be doing some live from the rapper sessions. If you guys have techniques that you want to see, product you want to see, comment below, send us an email, give us a phone call, let us know, because we're going to be doing stuff from the rapper. So I'm super excited about that. We good?
Yep.
All right, guys. Well, we'll go ahead and close it out there. I appreciate you big time. I hope you and your family are doing well, staying safe, staying positive. I know this craziness is still going on in the world, no matter what, or which camp you're in, what opinion you have. Just know it's all good. All's going to be okay. And no matter what, get out there and go fishing. All right. Love you. God bless you. We'll see you on Monday.